We've been looking at the Ten Commandments lately. We've looked at the first two, and remember, we've been talking about how that the fulfillment of all of those commandments is love. And so that we ought to be able to see that either loving God or loving people would cause us to obey that commandment just by the natural outflow of what's going on inside our hearts. Well, the third commandment is don't take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. And to take it in vain means to not honor it, to speak dishonorably about it, or to just use his name as an expression. It really bothers me sometimes when people say, oh my God, are they calling out to their God, or are they just using him as an expression? And there's something else. I want to talk about the name that God gave of himself. When Moses encountered God before he was sent back to Egypt to lead the people out, he said, who do I say sent me? The Lord told Moses, I am who I am. He had no mama that named him. He just is. And so he said, you can tell them that I am sent you. That's the name that I'll go by. And so this is how you spell I am in Hebrew. Now, Hebrews read from right to left as opposed to left to right. And so this is the first letter, and it can be pronounced as a Y, or it can be pronounced as a J. And this third letter can be pronounced as a V, or it can be pronounced as a W, or it can be not pronounced at all. And so, well, how do you pronounce this name? They didn't. They said his name is too holy for us to pronounce. And so when they would come to this, they would say the Lord, in Hebrew, Adonai, because they wanted his name to be honored, not to just be a common name like Joe or Jerry or something like that. And so when we come to the translation of the scriptures, and you see in English, you see the Lord capitalized, it's actually this word, I am. Now, Jesus said something about himself in John 8:58. Leading up to that, he said, Abraham rejoiced to see my day, and when he saw it, he was greatly joyful. And they said, Abraham 2,000 years before Jesus, they said, you're not 50 years old yet. How do you know Abraham? And he said, before Abraham was, I am. I am. He said, I predate Abraham. I predate everything. I am. I am. And so not only is it not real good, I think you're taking God's name in vain when you say, oh my God, or when you say, oh, I lost my blankety blank car keys and things like that. But also when you use Jesus Christ's name, it's just an expression. You're dishonoring God. I remember chemistry class that I had when I was in college, and there was a guy at the library that was in the same class, and he kept looking at the stuff and he's going, I don't understand this. This is complicated. And he kept saying, Jesus Christ this, and Jesus Christ that. And every time he said it, I got madder and madder. And then finally he said, Jesus Christ. And I said, loves you. And you know what? If I had had it to do over again, then I would have said, and I think you ought to change majors. Well, when we love somebody, we want their name honored. I know some really meek and mild people, but you don't talk about their mama. You don't dishonor their mama. They might hurt you that you dishonor their mama because they love their mama. Well, when you love God, you don't like to hear his name used as just an expression, but you want his name to be honored. The Apostle Paul wrote in 1 Corinthians 10:31, do everything that you do to the glory of God. And by the way, you don't just honor him with your lips, you honor him with your life. In 2 Timothy 2:9, it says, let those who name the name of Christ depart from iniquity. So, to love God, let's honor him with our lips and with our lives. God bless you. I'm done.